masked man's face can't be seen in the picture, only his mask. His voice is different from usual. The masked man creeps up behind Stacy and suddenly stabs her with a kitchen knife. Stacy managed to evade the fatal blow, but her arm was still scratched.
Oh, God.
Stacy threw down a stack of photos with a frightened look on her face.
It's you.
Stacy quickly picked up a pair of scissors from the ground and shook them at the masked man.
You scratched her face out of 100 pictures. You must have thousands of other pictures like this.
The masked man stood in the shadows, covering his contorted face, and sneered.
Please, don't come.
The masked man rushes to Stacy, who runs screaming into a corner. The masked man rushes to Stacy, who runs screaming into a corner. Laughing maniacally, he stabs Stacy with the knife. Blood, little by little, splashed on his mask. Suddenly, Stacy swings the scissors hard and grabs his hand. The masked man stopped his attack and stepped back to protect his hand.
I'll make you pay for it.
Stacy leans against the wall, crying out for help loudly.
Anybody here? Please help me.
That's your last words. No one can hear your prayers now.
Stacy is covered in blood, holding a pair of scissors and trying to protect herself.
What a strong and smart girl. If Farrell were half as tough as you, she wouldn't be dead.
The masked man's face was still in the shadows, fiddling with his blood-covered ring.
I knew this was going to happen.
This will be your epitaph.
The masked man approaches with a knife, and Stacy trips and screams.
Stacy strolls around the door, pulls out the phone and calls Mark.
Name, Stacy. Brief introduction. Abandoned by scum. Caught up in another storm.
Mark, why are there a group of agents in my house? Do they intend to sell my house?
Your house? Don't be silly.
What do you mean? This is the house my parents left me.
Remember those papers you signed? This house is mine now.
What papers?
Listen, I know we have a big relationship problem, but damn it, I really don't have time to talk to you right now.
Stacy is in shock while Mark hung up the phone. At this point, Stacy's cell phone rings, and then she glances at it.
Bitch, he's still using my credit card?
Stacy falls down to the floor and stares up at Mark. He stands proudly at the entrance of the jewelry store, with a bodyguard standing behind him.
Name, Mark. Brief introduction. Stacy's ex-boyfriend, who loves vanity, is now engaged to Olivia's rich girl.
If you touch me again, I swear I will.
I don't need to get my hands dirty, and I don't want to get this engagement ring dirty either.
Mark shows off his new ring.
Is the ring bought with my money?
Shut up! Or I'll have someone shut you up!
Nobody's gonna touch her.
Name, Matthew. Brief introduction. His fiancée died mysteriously on the eve of their wedding.
Matthew interrupts Mark and gently shields Stacy with his hand.
None of your business. Wait a minute. Don't I know you?
Mark is stunned by the two handsome and noble men in front of him and has to walk away sensibly.
Do you need any help?
A handsome blonde boy appears in front of Stacy. Just as Stacy is about to reach out to accept the kindness of the boy, Vincent pulls him away.
Some girls really stop at nothing to get close to wealthy men. You never know what they're scheming.
Name, Vincent. Profile, Ferret, family heir.
I can hear you, you idiot. I don't need your money or any man's help.
Stacy stands up angrily, dusts off the dust on her skirt, and prepares to leave. At this moment, Matthew chases after her from behind.
Take it, in case of emergency.
What caught Stacy's eyes is a string of phone numbers, and then the two noble men leave together.
Come on, buddy, let's see if they can fix your ring.
Stacy glares at Vincent. He just shrugs.
You are such a lucky girl.
In the store, Vincent elbows Matthew.
What just happened? Bro, you have a thing for that girl?
Shut up.
In the cold night, Stacy, wearing the very thin clothes, wanders alone on the street, shivering as she makes a phone call.
Is that Brittany? I'll make it short. Mark dumped me and now I have nowhere to go. Can I crash at your place for the night? Hello?
Stacy looks at her phone in disbelief. Brittany actually hangs up her call.
Damn it!
Stacy leans against a tree and dials another phone call.
Hello, Chelsea. It's Stacy. When can you return the money to me?
Stacy is too weak to continue walking on the street.
I think I have caught a fever.
Let me make another call.
At this moment, the world is spinning around Stacy, and she blacks out and collapses to the ground. The siren of the ambulance grows louder and louder, and the girl's delicate face is illuminated by blue and red lights. Stacy opens her eyes and finds herself in the hospital, with a nurse standing beside her, checking her IV bag.
What happened?
Great, you're awake.
Does this mean I'm getting better?
This means we can talk about your medical bill. Dear, do you plan to pay it now?
Stacy rummages through all her pockets, only to find nothing but Matthew's phone number. She sighs as she looked at her reflection in the window. Just then, with a knock on the door, a tall man walks in.
Hello, Miss Garrett. I'm Jeff. I've taken care of your discharge paperwork. Mr. Matthews sent me to take you out of here.
Stacy couldn't believe she is in Matthew's downtown apartment.
Oh my God, it's like a palace here.
The master bedroom is over there. The guest room is this way.
Stacy sizes up the man in front of her and asks curiously,
Jeff, are you a killer?
Nope.
Jeff stops and looks at Stacy, asking,
What's the matter?
Stacy rolls her eyes.
Because you don't sound like a normal person.
I'm sorry, Miss Stacy. I don't get used to chatting, and there are a few things I would recommend you not do.
Stacy rolls her eyes again and sighs.
There are no knives in the apartment. Please do not buy any knives or anything fragile like glass or china. And please stay away from the balcony and...
Wow, wait a minute. Why so many rules?
Follow these rules if you want to stay alive.
Jeff leaves the keys for Stacy.
What the hell are you doing?
Underneath the city's most luxurious apartment building, two men of striking handsomeness and extraordinary demeanor emerged from a luxury sedan.
Are you ready to go back? Shall we go then?
Certainly. I've brought everything I need.
Shall we go then?
I have other plans. I'll be fine tonight on my own. Thanks, buddy. Go home now.
Vincent returns to the car and the vehicle slowly leaves the residential area. The moonlight outside the window falls on the girl's waterfall-like long hair. The footsteps outside the door wake the girl from her sleep.
Oh no! There's someone outside!
Outside the door, Matthew slowly walks towards the master bedroom, sighing.
It feels like everything happened.
Matthew opens the door, and Stacy, who is behind it, raises a chair and smashes it towards him.
Who is it?
The agile Matthew dodges the attack immediately. Stacy is also unyielding, and they began to fight each other.
Asshole! Let me go!
What's going on?
When Matthew turns on the light, he is forcing Stacy against the wall. They stare at each other breathless and very closely. Matthew gazes at Stacy's face and murmurs,
It feels like it all happened just yesterday.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
Stacy, dragging her packed suitcase past the living room, catches sight of Matthew sprawling out on the couch, with his clothes in disarray. The golden sunlight shines toward the handsome man's face, and for a moment, Stacy is completely captivated. Coming back to her senses, Stacy quietly leaves a note on the table. Turning around, she realizes that Matthew had woken up somehow and is now staring at her.
Oh my God, you scares me.
Are you leaving without saying goodbye?
Matthew casually puts on a shirt and takes out a piece of paper.
Let's have breakfast together. I have a proposal that will benefit us both.
Stacy tosses the agreement Matthew had handed her onto the breakfast table.
A marriage of convenience? I don't accept it. Sorry, I have to go.
Don't worry, our marriage will only be a shell. I need someone outside the family to help me uncover the truth.
Who is Vera?
My deceased fiancé.
I don't understand. Why pretending to be your wife would help find out what happened to Vera?
Because you look so much like Vera. If the murderer sees your face at our wedding, he might try again. And of course, I'll protect you with my life.
So, I'm just asking for death? Thanks a lot. I'm out.
Matthew shows her a picture of Vera.
This is Vera. She should not end up like this. Killed before her wedding. I need to know what happened.
She looks like my twin sister. And we might be related by blood.
As a token of my gratitude, I promise to help you reclaim everything that belongs to you.
Stacy picks up a glass of orange juice and clinks it with Matthew's.
All right, but you have to do me a favor first.
Stacy stands at the door of the party and takes a deep breath.
Believe me, you look absolutely gorgeous. You're going to make Mark regret everything he did.
You're so sweet.
Matthew's phone is ringing at that moment.
I need to take this call. Go ahead, and I'll be right there.
Stacy mingles with the guests. Soon, she becomes the focus of the crowd.
Here you are, Stacy.
Mark steps forward to say hello. Then he whispers,
It's my special day today. What are you doing here?
Am I going to ruin an innocent girl's special day? I highly doubt that, you liar.
Want a refund? Let me tell you, if we can meet privately...
After hearing what you said, I should break your nose.
Suddenly, Mark spots Olivia in the crowd.
Excuse me, dear. I have a slight feeling we might have met her somewhere before. May I ask who she is?
Stacy Guerrant. I'm his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, what's going on here?
Before Stacy could say anything,
We've had enough of you. Do I need to call security like before?
Mark takes a few steps forward while Stacy slowly backs away.
Honey, what are you doing? We have so many guests here.
Mark continues walking towards Stacy.
No one is going to ruin my big day.
Stacy takes a few steps back until she bumps into Matthew's arms. Suddenly, she notices Mark starting to back away in Harry. Stacy turns around and sees Matthew.
Is there a problem here?
Mr. Lit? No, sir. Are you here with Stacy today?
Today? I will be with her for the rest of our lives.
Matthew puts his arm around Stacy.
I'm her future husband.
Stacy is confused by everyone's reaction to Matthew. She tilts her head and whispers,
Is he scared of you? Who are you exactly?
I'm your husband. We better start acting like a real couple now.
Stacy links arms with Matthew and joins the engagement party.
Hero of the day!
Vincent suddenly appears.
Hey! Finally, a lovely face.
Vincent takes a cocktail from a waiter. He noticed Mark whispering to the same waiter and pointing at Stacy.
Everyone,
Vincent taps his glass lightly and stands up to make a toast.
before we make a toast, I'd like to say how honored we are to have Mr. Lit here with us today.
Matthew nods and raises his glass to toast Mark.
Olivia, I will make you the happiest woman in the world.
Everyone raise their glasses to toast Mark. A waiter is approaching Stacy, trying to push her from behind. Both Matthew and Vincent noticed the abnormality almost at the same time.
What's going on? Stop it!
Matthew stops in front of Stacy, ready to take her away from the waiter.
Drop it!
Vincent also rushed towards Stacy and grabs the glass from her hand. Fortunately, no one is hurt, but Vincent's hands are covered in blood. There are maggots in the blood.
This isn't a Bloody Mary. This is a glass of blood. Who gave this to you?
A burst of commotion and screams erupts from the crowd. Olivia walks up to Matthew and slaps him across the face.
Are you determined to ruin my life?
Olivia, what do you mean? It's not his fault.
No, you know nothing. It's his fault for leaving Vera alone at home that night. She fell from that dilapidated building.
Olivia pushes Matthew away and starts crying.
You, murderer! You killed my sister! And now you want to ruin my life too?
Mark tries to calm down the whole drama.
Honey, you can't talk to Mr. Matthew Lit like that.
Even if he is the devil, I'm not afraid of him.
Matthew takes Stacy's hand and leads her away from the party.
Well, it seems like you're a big shot. But what does she mean when she said you left Vera to die alone?
We'll talk about it later.
The crowd gossips and watches Matthew and Stacy leave. Cindy blocks their path.
Who dares to humiliate my son?
I need to take this call. Go ahead, and I'll be right there.
Nonsense. Tell me what's going on right now.
Mark quietly approaches Stacy amidst the chaos.
How did you manage to hook up with Matthew Lit? I underestimated you.
Unlike you, I'm not a gold digger.
I see. But aren't you worried about that infamous curse?
What curse?
Don't play dumb with me. Any woman engaged to the Lit family heir ends up dying a horrible death. Look at Vera.